Good morning. Today, me and my team called Tech Enthuse will be presenting to you our project based on the task of predicting burnout on employees in an organization. I will be starting with the backend where we have split it into two parts. Those are namely predicting the burnout of a person and also predicting his personality type as to if he will come forward with his problems or not. If he is getting burned out, will he be able to convey this to his HR or not? So I will be explaining to you the burnout part right now. So first, the most important step is getting our data. So with this cell, we've got our data loaded into the Colab environment that we'll be using for the development of our models. Then we went ahead and saw what the data set looks like. This is a very important step because you understand what your data gives you, because data is just a collection of points or facts, but extracting information from data is important. So knowing about your data is very important, and that is what we did here. We've seen the different qualities that our data has, the data types, and how different columns interact with each other. One of the most important parts was handling the missing values, and as we can see here that the missing value and then dropping out the missing values did not have a massive effect on the average values of each. So we decided to directly just drop the values instead of doing any pre-processing on them, following which we saw how each different column affects the output, that is the burn rate, using the correlation graph. And as we can see, the mental fatigue score and the resource allocation have a very high correlation, while the company type and gender have low or negative correlation as well. Then we went ahead and we plotted out how different columns affected the burn rate again, and these are the graphs. This one was for gender, this one was for whether the person has a work from home setup or not, then this one was for the type of company, whether it's a service company or a product company, and all of that. Then the next most important step in modeling is creating a test train split, and that is what we'll be doing here. So we first defined our x and y variables, and then we have defined the x train x test splits, and then we went ahead and we tested multiple different models, which included random forest classifiers, svms, knns, deep neural networks, linear regression, xgboost, adaboost, and a lot of other models. And we found that the two best performing models were xgboost and the linear regression model. But the issue with xgboost was it took hours to train, and it was giving us a very minimal increase in accuracy as compared to the linear regression model, which was training in less than 10 minutes. And as you can see here, that the accuracy or the R square score for the XGBoost regression is around 92.9%, and the same R square test score for the linear regression is 92.0%. So as we can see that the accuracy gained was not so substantial, but the time gained was time increased in training was very massive. So we went ahead and used the linear regression model as our major model for implementation on our web app. Now Shubhankar will be explaining to you about the personality detection modeling. Over to you, Shubhankar.
Greetings, everybody. I'm Shankar, and I'll be talking about my model. To predict personalities, what we have done is, firstly, we have taken data which shows social media posts of a lot of different people and what their personality types are. So, personality is basically divided into four major regions. If a person is an introvert or an extrovert, or if he is a sensing or a intuition type, if he is more of a thinker or a feeler, or does he judge or does he perceive more. So we have tried to predict each and every personality of these people. So first we have cleaned the data, and for that we have to remove the stop words, and then we have binary encoded each of the personalities to zero and ones. And after that, from the entire set of posts, we have removed all the users information, like the URLs, the non-English words, some spaces, or anything else that was not required. There were even mentions of the personality type as such, but that was not playing a very important role. So we have filtered that out as well. Then after that, to create word embeddings for a deep neural network, uh, we have used tokenizer from TensorFlow, as this would easily tokenize the entire data set and provide us with a word index. and we have then padded the sequences to a particular length so that it's easy to follow. And we have used the TPU here because NL, natural language is take a lot of time to train, but using a tensor processing unit helped us a lot. Can you scroll down? Yes. And then here, as you can see, there are four personality types: introvert, extrovert, intuition, sensing, feel, and thinking, judge, and perceiving. And basically, after that, we have just created a model, and we over here have used a gate recurrent unit instead of a bidirectional long short-term memory. That is because what we found out in smaller data sets as these, GRU was performing a lot better than the LSTM, and even convolution did not produce very good results. So GRU looked as the best, and after training, we have tried to get above 70% accuracy for each, and we have fairly managed that. And independent on that, we have used these to predict the personality, and we have then used both of these models to create APIs for a web app, of which a demo would be uploaded, and so those demos are called the endpoint.
Thank you.
Thank you.